Welcome back to episode
Dodgers in
8.
four. Dodgers in four.
I can't get behind that one.
They
You
suck.
know I can't get behind that
The
one.
Yankees are battle of who can pay their players the most is coming to a close, guys. Dodgers
I
in four.
can't get behind that one. I really can't.
Dodgers in four. All right.
No, I mean, it's been a rough playoffs, They played really well in the regular season, the Yankees. It's just rough right now. But the bounce back gonna be crazy. It's been craziest comeback in sports history. You wait. Just you wait.
They're not the Oilers this year, bro. I'm sorry.
I want to let you in on a little history here. I'm gonna teach you.
There you go.
23 years ago to the day, the Yankees were down 0-3 in the World Series. You know what they did? They came back and won it.
The World Series.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this isn't 23
23
years
years
ago.
ago.
They have this isn't 20 years ago. They have Otani, Mookie Betts.
They
Who's
don't.
that guy? Who's the guy who went like Freddie Freeman? He's
Don't
having
matter.
the series of his career against the Yankees right now. Didn't do anything in any single playoff series before going
Okay.
against your Yankees.
Well,
I just
listen,
want
when
to
you,
let
when
you
you when you when you put in a pitcher that has pitched one game, that was his first game back in like 30 or 60 days or some crazy thing like that. That's bound to happen,
know.
It's you can't
What's
really simulate live game situations like that. I love
what's
Nestor
worse?
Cortez, but that was not a good situation.
What's worse, getting swept or losing in game seven? They're coming back down 0-3.
That's tough, man. Really is tough. I'd rather go to 7.
Oh, yeah.
Give me
What?
hope.
I'd rather get swept. I'd
No,
rather get swept.
no,
I'd rather, Zach,
no.
no, no, no. You're gonna tell me you brought me to the depths, like the depths, down 0-3. I win 3 games in a row to just bring up the highest of the high, and then we do all that for nothing. I'd rather get
I
swept.
need to end the
I'd
season on
rather get
a positive
swept.
note.
I'd
So,
rather get swept.
yes,
I'd rather get swept. I'm
that's not
sorry.
gonna happen because they're gonna win. They're gonna
Okay.
win.
You see.
So,
Wait, when do they play? They play tonight?
yep, tonight, 8:08 p.m. I think.
8:08.
Yep, it's always 8:08 for some reason. I
I'll
don't
be
know.
watching that tonight, and you'll be receiving a text message from me when the Dodgers are hanging up. What
I
what
had
number?
to
What number are they hanging up?
Dodgers.
Yeah, what number? What pendant? I'm sorry, what pendant?
I don't
What
know
what,
what
pen, what number pendant will this be for them?
for the I have no clue what it would be for the Dodgers. Uh,
We'll see.
let's see. Dodgers got this would be 8,
Oh, chill.
but it'd be
Yeah, it's been
20
a rough. It's been a
Yankees.
rough couple weeks for New York sports teams.
Listen, I told you this the other day, and I said I would mention it. I had the worst sports weekend, I think, other than the Lions. Every fighter I wanted for UFC lost. It was terrible. One of the guys dislocated his like these front teeth in his jaw. It was terrible, nasty looking.
Really?
But
Ugh.
yeah, he's kind of
That's
old.
awful.
But yeah. So that happened, right? Michigan State lost to a heated rival in Michigan, and I don't know if you saw the Big Ten's not doing anything about that Michigan running back stomping on the Michigan State
Are you
player.
surprised? Like Michigan, they
No,
don't
I'm not
give Michigan
surprised.
anything.
It's just the dumbest thing. Like we got penalized for the tunnel fight. Why aren't they getting penalized? Like he did it to some guy that wasn't even involved in the play.
Bro, it's
Like what?
Michigan. No, they
Oh,
are like
I know.
they're the youngest child. They're the perfect in the Big Ten in the college football in the world of college.
I know.
It's Michigan than everyone else, bro.
That's why they
Like
were
you
ranked
saw what they
24th
did
still or
when they were
whatever the other
cheating.
day.
They gave Harbaugh said he couldn't coach for 2 or 3 games while he was coaching all week. He got Saturdays off to just watch a game in his underwear. Like it's I'm
Yeah.
not shocked. It is what it is. I could have told you before they were going to get do anything.
But yeah, no, on top
He's
of all
like,
that, Yankees also lost down 3-0 in the series, 0-3 in the series. Yeah, and the Pistons are 0-4 to start the year. So that's a cool start.
I don't even watch the Pistons. That you can explain this for me.
I ain't been watching, but like I'd be following. Like I got my
I don't even
notifications on
follow
and
the
everything
Pistons.
like
It's just a
that.
waste of time. Believe it or not, I've been
Cade's
following
doing
the
good
Red
though.
Wings. I've been following the Red Wings more
Oh
than I've been
really?
following the Pistons. And
I've not
I'm not
followed the
even
Red
a
Wings yet
hockey.
this year.
I'm not even a hockey guy.
I don't know. For me, I don't really tune into hockey until
Playoffs,
not
or
necessarily the first snow, but like once it really starts getting cold outside, then I
that
get.
makes sense.
Um, But so I'm not quite there yet. I'm not in tune with them. But the Pistons are 0-4. Cade's doing averaging 26 and a half. Ivy's averaging 20.8.
I
And
heard Cade's been
Jalen
just
Duren
turning
doing
the ball
double
over like
double.
it's nothing though.
Who?
I heard Cade has been turning or maybe it's just the Pistons have been turning the ball over like
I
it's
would,
nothing.
yeah. Listen. Um, road to barely road to the playing game starts today. That might be a stretch. We'll see.
The road to a top not getting the first pick after finishing last in the NBA starts today, actually.
I don't even know who to draft anymore because the draft this year was kind of a weaker class, I think. Um, but yeah, all right. Let's get into college football, yeah. Talk about something a
Dude,
little more dynamic. You went 8-4 this past week on picks. I went 9-3, so had a little redemption arc from my previous
your losing
downward
record last week.
spiral. No losing
That's
record.
a
Proud
great
of us.
comeback. It's a great comeback.
It is. It is. Still gonna be down in the
Proud of
rain,
yourself.
but it's cool. Um, let's talk about the first game, yeah. Notre Dame is still Notre Dame at the end of the day. They played lights out football.
They did. I'll give it to him, bro. I thought they couldn't
A
do it.
lot of people were high on Navy. Navy was thinking they could hold their
It's
own with
okay.
Notre Dame.
It's okay. You know why? Because Army's gonna beat Notre Dame. All right, banking on it. Because if I see it'll happen. But Notre Dame can still easily make the playoff, even losing, having
Yeah.
that bad afternoon against NIU. If they win out, they have to win out. But
Oh yeah, I
if
agree.
they lose even one more game, they're cooked. And I think that'll be Nate Army, hopefully. So
Yeah, but no, yeah. So Notre
I'll,
Dame did win 51-14.
I'll
That was
blowout.
that was definitely belt to ass segment
That
as
was a
there.
that
But moving on,
was
Bama won.
disturbing.
Also, they had a donut on defense, which is a great day on defense. They
I'm
won.
trying to figure out how Missouri's still ranked.
Yeah, that was embarrassing, honestly. It was a
Are they
rough.
still ranked? Hold on. They're 25, Zach.
I don't know how.
How in the
No,
world
honestly,
is Missouri still ranked?
that beats me, man. I
That's
listen,
disturbing.
that was embarrassing. But even the head coach was making excuses during the game. He's like, "Well, if I had my quarterback, people were trying to read his lips and all that." And I was like, "What are you
That's
talking
embarrassing.
about?" Yeah. So no, Bama is not going to make the playoffs. Still, it'll be close. I don't think they will though.
A lot needs to
Um,
happen for them to make it. A lot of teams in front of them need to lose. A lot.
yeah, and I don't know how much of that's going to happen considering we're about to get
Yeah.
done here.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, a lot needs to happen for them.
Because what? There's
They have a
is it
chance. This is
14
college.
weeks or 15?
What?
How many weeks of the regular season are there?
12.
I don't know why I thought there were 14.
So we only have four more weeks.
Yeah, we got Michigan State got Indiana this upcoming week, but we'll
That's
talk about
just
that
so
for our pick in a
crazy.
second.
That's
But
so crazy to think about. We only have like
season's
four,
going
four,
by,
five more
man.
weeks.
It's going by quick.
It's sad.
Re-
It's like the college season, and it goes by so much faster than NFL. I get there's five more games, but still, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It starts a little earlier too, but like
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so
I don't know. I've always felt like NFL is longer to your extent. Like it definitely feels like it's significantly longer, even though I'm sure it's not that much
yeah,
longer.
that's true.
Um, but yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room here. Michigan State did lose to Michigan. That
I
was
didn't even watch the game. No, I didn't watch the
you don't
game.
watch? Oh, I was watching and then it started going down the drain. So we started playing a little beer pong and we started then we headed over to our friend's apartment and no, not worth nothing, no real highlights there, I don't think.
The one thing after watching, I just didn't. It felt like the Michigan State players, like
Texas.
they didn't have any like hype for the game. It's like they really didn't true. And I get it, because you got pretty much all of them from the transfer portal, but
Yeah, no,
there's
there's
no
no
really.
reason to have this rivalry, right? Like all these guys are coming in. It's like why?
Yeah, they didn't know the magnitude of it, the meaning of it. It just seems like they just were there. Like it was another average game. Then
No, I know it
it's
did.
every game matters, obviously, but this is a little different. This isn't Oregon and Oregon State. The magnitude of this game, it's a little bit different than like a Midwest, Big
No,
Ten
yeah,
rivalry is different than a West Coast.
yeah.
It's
No,
different.
I saw some video that was like the top 15 rivalry matchups in college football. You know what
Yeah,
Michigan State was? With
top
Michigan?
10 easily.
It wasn't on there.
Oh, okay, that's
It was a terrible list. It was really bad. I mean, I get Army Navy being, I think that was their first one, but like that makes sense. That's like America's game, you know. Um,
yeah, I get it.
but no. So I will say Nathan Carter had a great game. He finally looked like the Nate Carter he was supposed to be this year.
Yeah,
Um, he scored a touchdown, I believe, early in the first, but
yeah, they went up 7-0 pretty
yeah,
early.
yep. But I thought we were gonna, get kick off there, like full steam ahead. Did not work out at all. It was upsetting, really.
It
Um,
really is frustrating. Whatever.
yeah, I don't know. You got any more college games you want to talk about? You want to get right into the picks?
I'm trying to think of some more crazy things that happened this week. It was a chill weekend for college.
Yeah.
I would like to say that Indiana, in my book, is the second best team in the Big Ten behind Oregon. Ohio State looked awful against Nebraska.
What about Penn State?
Penn State's frauds. They're gonna play
Your
Ohio.
frauds. Okay.
I think I
This is
think
going to be a
this
big
week
week for Penn
this
State.
week it's gonna be big. It's gonna be who's the biggest fraud. That's what this week's game is going. Who's the biggest fraud? Ohio State
Yeah.
or Penn State?
Penn
And
State don't have a
I
loss yet, right? They're still undefeated.
Penn State's still undefeated. It's at Happy Valley. Ohio State must be happy as heck because this is not a whiteout game,
I
not
know.
at
I
night,
made
just a
sure in the
noon
notes to
kickoff.
include that it's a noon game
A
because
noon
that's
kickoff,
I don't know. I feel like
which I think
that should be a
is
later game. That
more
that should be game of the
advantage to
week.
Ohio, which I think is more advantage to Ohio State, obviously. But yeah, they looked horrible against Nebraska, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, do you see what Indiana did to Nebraska last week? 2 weeks
Not
ago?
off the top of my head.
56-7.
Oof.
56-7. Ohio State beat Nebraska by 4 points.
Okay. I just wanted to check real quick. Game day is going to Penn State this week, so
Yeah, that makes
makes sense.
sense.
That's like a great game. So or it should be, but no,
Yeah,
it's
it's a top
crazy.
five matchup, 3-4.
Um.
But this week we'll see who the biggest frauds is because, like I said, Penn State hasn't looked like anything either. Don't yes, they're undefeated, but
Yeah.
they've been winning games like ugly, like really bad, really bad. What was
You
their
know,
best win?
I really haven't even seen anything too much on Penn State this year, which is kind of crazy. Um.
Like they beat Bowling Green by 7 points, bro. They beat Bowling Green by 7 points, Illinois by 14, USC by 3. The USC scored 30 points.
Hey, don't,
Like
don't don't sleep. What's their mascot? It's like a eagle or something like that.
who? The
Bowling Green.
USC? Oh, Bowling Green. Oh, the Eagles. I drive past their school every time I go
It's
home.
Freddie and Frida Falcon. Oh,
Oh,
that's
we were
a
close.
whatever. I no, to your point, I think that's gonna be a good game. But
Yeah, it should be a game. We'll see.
yeah. So diving into the picks, the first one was ours from last week. I accidentally put the Air Force Army game on last week's slate. That's my bad. But it is on this week's slate. So last week I think we both picked Army. Do
Yeah, and I'm
you still
still sticking with
stand?
my pick. Are you still?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my pick. Air
I
Force
am
is not good.
also going to stick with my Army pick. I just feel like they're hot, even with a bye week. They're gonna stay hot and they're gonna prove they're still to be messed with. So,
Ohio State and Penn State.
4 versus 3
I
action.
think.
Ooh,
I think that this is a must win, in my opinion, for Ohio State. They lose this game.
it's a must
They're,
win
they're
for either
sitting.
team. Let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah. It's more so Ohio State because they already have one loss, in my
Okay,
opinion.
that's fair.
So in terms of the playoff, granted, Ohio State would be like they probably would. Would you even if they lose this game? Would you still put them top 10? Like they wouldn't be like because they would have two losses. One would be to the current
Ooh.
number 1 team, and the other would be to the current number 3 team. So they would have two top 3 losses, both games on the road.
Okay, so I'm just pulling up the rankings right now. I'm looking. So if they lose, right,
Mhm.
Miami, first of all, still 8-0. I would honestly put an 8-0 Miami,
They
Florida
should be top.
over
They should be
Ohio
top
State.
4 in my opinion. Yeah.
Um, I'd even put them over Penn State, but that's neither here or there right now. So if they lose, they would need at least okay. So Miami plays Duke this week. Texas plays Florida. Tennessee plays Kentucky. Notre Dame plays Florida State. BYU plays Utah, and then A&M plays South Carolina. That's who else is in the top 10 right now. One of those teams would have to get like. I feel like if they lose, they could get in the 9.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I just feel like it's just this is like crunch time for Ohio State. They have one loss. Penn State, they can make a huge statement here going to Penn State, not Happy Valley, harder place to win. And I think for that reason, it'll be a low scoring game, but I'll take the Buckeyes to win. But I promise, if they lose this game, so I'm never picking them ever again.
You know, I also
I just think
like
it's a must win for
I
them.
I also like Ohio State here.
Really?
Ohio State's quarterback went in to like some presser the other day and was like,
Oh, I
he
saw
grew up
that. Yeah.
from like the Philly area. And he was
Yeah.
like, I always wanted to go to Penn State. That was my dream school. They didn't want me
Awesome.
though. So let's see what happens. So I love that confidence. I do.
Yeah.
I still think
Chip
Ohio's
on your
a
shoulder.
better team because Penn State's just not impressed me this year.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna
Yeah.
run with the Buckeyes.
Okay. We
This one,
have next different games. Keep it in the Big Ten.
no, yeah, that's what I don't know. There's not too many insane games. I was looking at the schedule this week, but it's cool.
Really, but still some good games. Big Ten implications here. Minnesota at 24, Illinois. Who do you guys like?
I think Minnesota's kind of a joke right now. Um, and Illinois is looking pretty good, even though they just lost. I'm gonna take Illinois. They're coming off a loss like what 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago now.
What did those two?
Didn't or am I imagining things?
They beat Michigan two weeks ago.
Hold on, I'm just pulling it up. I don't know why I thought they lost.
They beat Michigan 2 weeks
Oh,
ago.
okay. I had it
Yeah.
flipped. Indiana lost to them. Okay.
Oh yeah, I guess that's what it is. Oh, you said you're taking
I
Illinois?
know. Why is it showing me 2023 games? Hold up. No, yeah, Illinois did just lose to Oregon.
Oregon, that's what it
Okay.
was. They got blown out by.
I knew I wasn't losing my mind there for a second.
You're right. They got
Um,
blown out by Oregon.
yeah, but no, I think they'll come back strong and I think they'll look good. So I'm gonna rock with Illinois fighting Illini.
Okay. I don't know much about Minnesota. I don't know much about Illinois either, besides their that horrible outfit, or that
Yeah,
horrible
yeah.
those horrible uniforms. But they're coming off of a win against Maryland pretty convincingly, 23-48. Give me Minnesota for this game. I like the hard-nosed
Really?
football. Roll the boat. PJ Fleck, roll the boat.
Okay. Okay.
Like Minnesota. Minnesota. Minnesota.
Now you gotta say it like Joe Biden, man. That's how you gotta say it. Minnesota. Yeah. All right, some more Big Ten action. Um,
Let's go. And
Wisconsin at Iowa. What you what you want?
they had I will even play this week.
I don't
I don't even know. Let me see. I'm trying to see if they played this week. They beat Northwestern by a crap ton. Iowa.
Oh yeah. Okay. Northwestern's not even it blows my mind Northwestern's still like in the Big Ten for sports. They've never really
Yeah.
other than
Both
basketball they have a nice year.
both 5-3. The Hawkeyes this one at home at night. Winning at Kinnick at night is hard. I like Iowa. This is gonna be a smash mouth, run the ball football game. I
I
think
agree.
Iowa kind of lost themselves. I was happy they lost themselves against Michigan State, which I was very happy of. But
Yeah.
I think they find themselves a little bit better here. I like give me Iowa at home at Kinnick at night. It's hard to win there at night.
And now I just want to look real quick at what the last couple games were for them. So they lost 28-13 to Penn State. And then prior to that, they won 23-3 against Northwestern. So I just can't. They lost their quarterback early in the season, and that has been a huge factor for Wisconsin. I
Yeah,
just can't pick them in good conscience right now. They might win, don't get me wrong, but I think Iowa is going to be my favorite for this one as well.
awesome. Stealing my picks.
Okay, okay. Well,
uh,
I think we're going to have the same pick here, but
yeah, Kentucky is traveling to number 7, Tennessee, and Tennessee is rocking the all black
those
uniforms. And if you think
jerseys are
they're
so
tough,
beautiful, man.
if you think
That
I'm gonna,
editor for the release video,
oh yeah,
an
that
amazing
oh,
job. It
if you
looked
think I'm gonna
really
pick,
looked
if you think
great.
I'm gonna pick, if you think I'm gonna pick Kentucky, against Tennessee with those uniforms, you need to go to the doctor and get checked out.
Honestly,
You
Tennessee could probably have.
give me, and this night game at Neyland,
Yep.
Tennessee coming off. Yeah, give me Tennessee, please.
Tennessee for me could bust out those Illinois jerseys and still be my favorite. It doesn't matter what they're
Yeah,
wearing. They've
same.
looked really good this year. I've been impressed with them. Give me Tennessee. And I don't even think this
Tennessee.
one could be that close.
It probably isn't.
I got at least a two touchdown winner for
I
10.
have, I have, I have more that I have this team winning by more in Ann Arbor in the big house. Give me Oregon by 100, please, and thank you.
Yep. Number one ranked Oregon against Scum.
Is that a night game? If it's a day game, oh, Michigan.
I don't even know.
Well, let me see. They play 3:30
3:30.
kick. Yeah. Oregon,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Oregon's walking in there,
Oregon,
and they're going to run up the
Oregon.
score against Michigan. Michigan does not look good. They barely pulled out a win against us. They've looked terrible altogether this season. Um,
It just
I'm
pains me.
picking
Michigan's
Oregon as
probably gonna
well.
make a bowl game now because they're 5-3, I believe.
They're going to make a ball game if they and if it doesn't fucking matter because they're going to lose.
Yeah,
You know?
sure. Yeah, give me Oregon. Next question.
Yeah,
Let's buy 100. I wish my mom could send my. I wish my mom could overnight me my Oregon shirt so I could wear it on Saturday. Yeah, I see this game like not being close at all.
I got you. Next, we got 10 Texas A&M versus South Carolina.
A&M coming off a big win at home against LSU. I'm gonna roll with the Aggies here. So I kind of will put up a fight. We'll see. They either put up a fight or just drop a goose egg. There's no in between with them.
Unfortunately, I'm picking the same thing as you here. Texas A&M's look good this year. Like I've not heard of Texas A&M being really relevant in a minute. Then again, I like didn't follow college football that much in high school.
Yeah.
Um, like I do now at least. Now I watch everything or try to. But yeah, no, I listen, I think Texas A&M's back to like the Johnny Manziel. Not quite there yet, but they're on the
Not
right
there yet,
track.
but they're on the right path
Um,
for sure.
South Carolina is just not been South Carolina of like the 2010s, you know? It's not been the same school, and I don't know if they will ever be again. Who knows? Times are always changing, but I'm gonna rock with the Aggies as well.
Aggies, cool. And then Indiana travels to East
Our
Lansing
favorite game of the
to
week.
face Michigan State. Yeah, Michigan State's gonna lose. I'm sorry. Indiana is just on a freaking tear right now. Like I said earlier in the show, I think they're the second best team in the Big Ten behind Oregon right now. They seem that they know
Till
they're
they
the second.
lose.
They're playing like they're the best team in the Big Ten right now. They're just dropping bombs on opponents. Bombs. It's ridiculous. It's like watching the Lions and their point differential in the last 3-4 games. Indiana's just hammering people. No regard for human life at all. Give me Indiana. I don't think Michigan State's gonna cover, bro. It's just not our year. I haven't given up
What
like
do you know
this
what the
this
line is?
past weekend.
Do you know
I
what
don't
the line?
know. I'm gonna
Because
say Indiana.
I like it.
Let me see. Indiana open up as favorites.
Okay, but on that note, while
Obviously.
you're looking that up, I'm gonna just go right in. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Michigan State.
Only 6.5. Only 6.5.
We're not covering
You don't think so?
six and.
Oh no, we're not covering. Not covering. You're
Hey,
lying. You're lying. We're not covering.
they're gonna be up. They're
That's a
gonna be
touchdown.
up
That's a
like
touchdown.
17 by the end of the
That's a
game. I
touchdown.
think. I don't think. Listen, I walked by their practice this morning because every morning, like for my 8:30 a.m. class, I walk by
Yeah.
the practice field. They're just jamming out music, you know? I don't think I can't take them serious in the morning. It low-key pisses me off that they're blasting music that early in the morning after a rivalry loss, you know?
Yeah. I agree.
Like
I completely agree. It's just yeah.
backtracking a little bit, I think it needs to be business, right? Like we just lost to Michigan. The rest of the season cannot be like this. We need to turn it around. I don't care about our win against Iowa. I don't care about our win against any of these other random schools. I mean, Prairie View is a huge win. No, listen, they got to turn it around. They really do. If they want to start proving people wrong, we need to start playing better. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how often I can go with that. Aiden Childs is a first year. He's 18. He's gonna make mistakes. I get that, but
He needs to go to a quarterback camp this entire offseason. It
he
just
needs to be a part of not just one quarterback camp. He needs to be a part of all of them because
yeah, I can't
because
I can't defend him anymore. I can't
no,
continue to
he's making some simple mistakes still, and
yeah,
I
and
get
it's
it. I get
just
it. I gotta say
a
though,
team. What is
one
that?
no, you go first because I'm gonna change players here.
All right, I was gonna say a team like Michigan State and the other players they currently have, there's just simply no room for error. And
No,
they game after game, they've put themselves in a predicament and have just dug a deeper hole, just so much harder for them to get out of. And a lot of these games, yeah, I still think they lose to Ohio State. I still think they lose to Oregon. Michigan, we should is a winnable game. Those
it
games
was.
against Ohio State and Oregon, those are the points does not show how closer at those games really were. Like I said, I still think they win, but they're not winning by 30, maybe 10
Yeah,
at max. We come into these predicaments, we just shoot ourselves in the foot and we dig ourselves, we just give away games. We simply
I
give away
agree.
games. And a team like Michigan State in the predicament and stance they're in with a new head coach, a new quarterback, you can't have those mistakes because we're already coming in, as underdogs in most of all of these games. It's just you can't continue, especially as an underdog, you can't continue to just make mistakes and just make a win so much harder than what it,
I agree.
already is for you. And we're just shooting ourselves in the foot. And I quite frankly, I'm this year, I'm really over it. Like it's just whatever happens, happens, unfortunately. Like I really wasn't even phased by this Michigan win. Like it was just like, I
Yeah,
don't even know what
it's
to
kind
say.
of on
It
theme
was
for
just like,
this
yeah, it's
season,
just like,
but
just can we just move to next year already? And hopefully something will be better.
yeah,
But this year, I've kind of given up hope. Not hope. I still think we make a bowl
we'll still
game.
make a
We
bowl
can play
game,
some.
but it's just not
Yeah,
gonna be a good
I
bowl
still think
game.
we can get at least two more wins.
Yeah,
But I think we'll finish 6-6 on the year. But something has to change this offseason. That they need to the coaching staff. They need to really get, I don't know, it's grittier, get used to the Midwest and how football, should be played, how rivalries should be treated. The players need to
send them to the
take
Lions camp,
themselves
man.
serious.
Let them see how
That's what
the
I'm
Lions
saying.
are running
Like
it. They,
players
they,
need to,
they've figured something out over there. But
yeah,
no,
it's
the next
just,
player I wanted to talk about was Jack Veerling. He's really kind of disappointed me this season. He was supposed to be, he was a preseason All-American bid,
jeez,
and he's. I don't even know if he has a touchdown yet on the year. Like I know touchdowns
dog
aren't
until
the only stats that
2025.
matter, but he's just not been playing like this guy that we were supposed to be getting. And I think he needs to step up as well as this game was an exception. This past one was Michigan because Nate Carter had a good game for the first time all year. But I thought I really was expecting more out of Nate Carter this year. I thought he was going to take like a K9 approach. Not
Yeah,
like K9, obviously. That's hard to
yeah,
replicate.
it's hard.
But
It's
I
hard.
thought he was going to have like a breakout season, and it's just not looking like that quite yet. Um,
Nah, it's not.
but yeah, I don't know actually if I said my pick for this one, so I'm just gonna backtrack in 2 seconds. I am gonna pick Indiana.
Me
Um,
too.
and that ends our college football segment there. Oh, took a second, but we got here. NFL,
NFL.
oh my goodness. Week 8. So I wanted to
What
start off.
happened?
I wrote down last night's Monday Night Football thing because I was watching that a little bit, and it reminded me of how we were bashing the Steelers essentially for starting Russ, right? We're like, if you're winning games with Justin Fields, why change it? I think they made the right decision.
I we doubted Mike Tomlin, and he knew something we didn't apparently. So don't get me wrong. It's the You've played the Jets and the Giants back to back weeks. Don't
Tough
get me
games,
wrong.
tough game. No. And then the one before that was the Raiders.
In order for the Raiders. But Justin Fields, I don't know, he just seems to be doing something to the Steelers offense that I'm sorry, Russell Wilson's been doing
Say
something to
flip
the
flop,
Steelers
yeah.
offense that Justin Fields just, I don't know, maybe hasn't been able to do. Just getting I don't know, getting the ball to his targets a little better. George Pickens is actually starting to play, fit that wide receiver one
Yeah.
role on the Steelers, which I don't think he was doing at all when Justin Fields was there at
Oh, he
QB.
was mad. He was wearing a tape. I forget what he said on it, but um, it's like always open or something like that. He was not happy.
Mhm.
Um, but
So
I agree.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
listen, I think Russ, the whole reason, I think it was a great move for the Steelers in the offseason to get him and Fields because Not only does that give you a potential quarterback for the future, but it gives you someone to come in with a similar play style, essentially. Young Russ played like a young, like Justin Fields to this point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much scrambling, but still a mobile QB. Um,
Yeah.
and it brings in someone to just come mentor him and show him what they're supposed to do. And I saw a really nice clip over this past on not even the weekend, I guess it was Monday, of Justin Fields sitting next to Russ, and Russ was walking him through what he did on one of the plays. Like that is exactly what you want out of a veteran QB.
Yeah, you can't. I really can't. You can't hate Russell Wilson. He's such a good
No,
guy.
he's
Honestly, you
unlimited.
really can't. Yeah.
Unlimited.
But
Oh,
yeah, Steelers on a tear right now. The number two seed in the AFC and
yeah.
leading their division right now. So
No,
the defense is good
they're
too.
looking
So
good.
they're looking good. They're looking
They always kind of look
good.
decent, though. Let's be honest. Their defense, they get carried by their defense every year.
They do. They do.
But this is the first year their offense is looking pretty good.
Yes, a division rival lost the game
Let's talk about it, yeah?
in the last play of the game.
This was crazy.
As a coach, what is your conversation like with that player, Stevenson, who's chirping at the
But he's
fans?
on the bench. I'm done. That is not tolerable. The game is not over. You were taught in Pee Wee football. They taught this in every sport. It is not over until it's over, right?
Yeah.
That's the motto for essentially every sport in the world. Is you got to keep trying and keep that effort there until the last play and of the last whistle. That guy was out chirping fans and ended up costing his team the game. That is unacceptable if I am the coaching staff.
I agree.
I personally, I'm gonna pull a page out of our coach's book because if they did not, our coaches in high school didn't really have a thing for tolerating taunting and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's BS.
They hated it. And if they saw that, they making everybody run. I think in practice, these guys need to be running because that is unacceptable. I'm putting the whole team on the line because at the end of the day, you're supposed to play as one. And if one of you guys messes up like that, that's just unexcusable.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you said, Zach. That was just unexcusable on his part. The what's worse is that I think one of the coaches from the Bears even said that like that was like the guy who caught the game winning touchdown.
I
That
saw
was
that.
like his guy. That was his guy.
Yep.
That made it even worse. I still think I'm not trying to just let him off the hook at all because I still think it was horrible on his part. But as a whole secondary though, you should know better than to try to don't let anyone behind you. Keep it all in front of you. You still had 10 other guys there. Don't
No,
get
yeah,
me wrong. It's his
it's
fault. You still
hard.
had 10
It's
other
hard
guys
on those
there.
like last minute Hail Mary plays.
Yeah.
But
I just think overall, it was just a bad, it was definitely part of his fault,
that
but it
was
was just
so
a bad,
nonchalant.
yeah.
That was like a tip drill on easy mode,
That's what
essentially.
I'm saying. Like, you
Because
just
it literally
bat it.
flew right
Don't try
into his
to
hands.
catch it. Bat
No,
it in front of you. Don't
no,
try to catch
exactly.
it. Don't try it's, yeah, I don't know. But they
It literally
lost.
fell into his
Division
hands.
rival
It was
lost.
crazy.
The Bears officially have the hardest schedule for the rest of the season. They
Yep.
play us twice, the Vikings twice, the Green Bay once, the 49ers, the Texans. Oh no, they play the Texans. I'm sorry. Someone else. Anyway, they have the hardest schedule for the rest of
I'm
the
glad you
season.
brought
We're
up
the number two.
I'm glad you brought up the Texans though, because I do want to briefly mention Stephon Diggs did tear his ACL.
He's out for the year.
Tank Dell, wide receiver one. We really, I'm not mad about it, but we were so optimistic about the Texans this year. We've said this multiple
We
times on this
were.
episode.
We
We
were.
thought it was going to be a Lions Texans Super Bowl.
That's just not the case right now.
First of all, the Chief. We talked about this last week. The NFL wants the Chiefs to win. It is ridiculous, but no, I don't know. The Texans are really in a position here now. I mean, they're gonna have to have Tank Dell's gonna have to step up. I don't even know any other receivers that's at this point on that
Yeah,
roster.
right now it's just Tank Dell's obviously your one because
Yep.
this is Nico's last week on IR. He'll be back against us next week at home versus the Texans. So we'll
They
see how
still got
that
Joe Mixon
goes.
though, and then their tight end Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, we'll still like I said,
Might
I'm not
bench
worried
CJ Stroud this week
about
in
the
Tennessee.
yeah, not that I'm not even worried about the run, but yeah, I don't know. They've been underwhelming. They've still been winning games, but
Oh yeah,
not
but
by
just not in the fashion
not
we
by the
thought.
margin. Yeah, it's not by the margin that we thought at all. So, but yeah,
Absolutely.
it sucks. That injury for Stephon. You hate to see a player like that get injured for the rest of the season,
Yeah,
especially so late in the season. Now there's just no ACLs
it's
are
done.
always different, but you just know
Yeah.
now this late week 8 in the season, you're not coming back until next year,
I
unfortunately.
agree.
So
Yeah. Um, yeah. The last little segment here. Let's talk about the Lions.
the most unorthodox win. I'm not gonna lie, Zach. Like I was sitting there watching the game, like they had they had no like reaction. Like I was happy, I was smiling, but I was just sitting in the couch. I was just like what's going on? This is weird.
It's
This
almost
is
like
the fashion we won it. It was just I don't even know how to explain
it's
it.
it's almost like they're playing Madden on like the easiest like rookie mode. It really
Yeah,
is.
that was
Except
just
okay,
like
I won't lie. It
really.
was it was like 14-14. And it looked like a close game for a second. And then
Well, we can talk about that.
and then the
I'd say about that
Lions
too.
took off, man.
Yeah.
At one point in time, the Lions had more touchdowns than passing yards, which is crazy.
I
That's
saw it was I took a screenshot of it. We had 42 points. Goff had 9 passing yards. I think the Lions started over half of their possessions inside their own 50 and like a quarter or a third of them inside the red zone.
that's
It was pretty
crazy.
crazy. It's a win. I'm happy. You're supposed to
Yeah,
win games. I don't want it to let people get to the head. It was the Titans. The Titans are awful. You still did let Mason Rudolph march down the field a couple times.
man, that guy
And
is.
you did let a wide receiver get 119 yards in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about
Okay,
that.
okay, but you can't dismiss Calvin Ridley's a good receiver, you know.
No, no,
When
no.
healthy,
I'm just
he is a
saying
great receiver.
he's a great receiver. I'm just saying
But
there's a lot of good to take away, but surprisingly, there's a good amount of bad to take away from a 52-14 win. And
absolutely.
we're gonna play teams with better quarterbacks than Mason Rudolph and better receivers than Nico Collins. And if we don't sign some freaking body to be on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson for the rest of the season and for next season, I might actually lose my crap, Zach. I
Well,
might actually lose it. Because
we'll
right
see, you
now
know.
it
I
seems
saw
like the
Dan Campbell
Lions
laugh.
aren't doing it. No, F that, because he went on something today talking about, ooh, that was just me. Like we're doing everything. Oh, he said some BS and it really made me upset. And I was like, okay, if we actually don't do something, I'm actually gonna be so just disappointed.
Listen,
But yeah,
we have trusted Brad Holmes to this part. While we haven't agreed with everything, it's really worked out, has it not?
it's worked out.
Exactly.
It's worked out to get us out of such a deep hole. But
So
now
I'm just gonna
we
keep
have
trusting though.
covered that hole up, and a tree is growing out of it. We are on top of that tree, and if we don't do something to win the freaking Super Bowl this year, Zach, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself.
We got one more week. Trade deadlines next Tuesday. So we got plenty of time. Ideally, I'd like to do it before we play this Sunday. But I listen. At the end of the day, I do trust in Brad Holmes, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, Jared. Jared
I
Goff,
just want to
3 touchdowns off of less than 100 yards passing, only
crazy.
incompletions. Another
I
crazy
do want
stat
to
line.
highlight though Craig Reynolds. He had a great game.
Oh,
Or no,
Craig McLeaf Raymond.
Cleve Raymond. I apologize. I don't know. Geez, my bad. Mixed up my players. I do mean Khalif Raymond. I think
Bumba class.
I'm hoping to pick him up in one of my fantasy leagues.
He'll never have another. He's amazing. He's an amazing player. He'll never have
Yep.
another game like that ever.
Not like that, but his last like 3 games have been decently done. So
I told one of my friends in my fantasy leagues I'll trade him Terry McLaurin for Amon-Ra St. Brown straight up. He hasn't responded to me yet. I'm going to propose. I think that's fair. Right now,
Harry balled out
McLaurin's
this week, didn't he? He had a good
like
night. He had a good game.
right now McLaurin is number 9 in fan wide receiver 9, and Amon-Ra is 11. And I already have on that team. I already have uh Goff,
Okay.
Laporta, and Gibbs. So just give me the third Lions. Like, just make me a Lions team at this point.
5 weeks done, so you're chilling there, I guess, right?
Chilling.
It
Yeah,
worked out.
give me it.
The last thing I want to talk about for the Lions is what is QBR and
Yeah, what dictates
why
that?
does
I
it
never
really
really
matter, right?
understood.
Because I was curious. I was looking up like for the start bench cuts later in the episode. I was looking up. I was like, okay, let's look at the quarterback rankings, like so they're all similarly playing for this season. And I was like, okay, what's Jared Goff? Because that was my first instinct for it.
Yeah,
And he's the 21st rated QBR. And I looked it up, right? Because I was curious, and it says it's like the total quarterback rating, which is based on like I don't even know how to describe it. Like it's like their grading system for what they consider a good quarterback is and how they factor it. I think it's terrible on a serious note.
Yeah, I feel like I keep getting QBR confused with passer rating because I see his QBR and it's not the best, but then his passer rating week after week is like leading the NFL, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
but now I think yeah, I see the difference now a
Well,
little bit,
because there's
but I don't know what's making his QBR so low. Like
because
obviously not low.
looking at the season, Bo Nix's QBR is higher than Jared Goff, right? If we're going strictly off QBR, you're telling me Bo Nix is a better quarterback than Jared Goff, right?
No.
Like, no, it's just a weird. In my opinion, it's weird. I'm not a fan of QBR because it's a misleading stat, I think.
Yeah, I don't, and I'm happy that's really not factored in a lot of
Yeah,
these rankings
absolutely.
stuff.
Um,
But
yeah,
yeah,
Jared Goff is playing very well.
make a move, Detroit, for the love of God,
I agree.
please. Jeez,
Okay. That brings us to Thursday night football, a little Halloween action for our picks. You ready?
I'm ready.
We got Texans at the Jets.
I have no faith in any team in New York, including your baseball team. Give me the Texans, even though that they're losing their wide, they're missing the wide receiver 1 and 2 right now. Yeah, give me the Texans. The Jets can even beat the Patriots. Give me the Texans.
Listen, I think I agree. I want to make that very clear. I think the Texans are going to win, and that's going to be my pick. But I think the Jets are just so dysfunctional, man. It is crazy to me. The amount of talent they have there now is
Yeah.
inexcusable. Like they I saw a post that said, nah, Sauce Gardner's mom calls him Ahmad, so I'm gonna start calling him Ahmad. He's been playing too bad lately to get the name Sauce. So fans in New York are taking the name Sauce away, which is pretty funny, I thought. But
That's hilarious.
yeah, I don't know. Nothing's working right now for them and that
That's
offensive.
their own fault.
But
That's their own fault. They're turning the
yeah,
gun on themselves. They're
it's
they
almost like you
repeatedly.
fire a head coach that's
Yeah,
not
you
getting
can't.
fired. It's
Yeah,
not gonna
you
improve the
can't. No,
situation.
I have no empathy for them whatsoever. They've been doing this to
I
themselves.
agree. They do this all the time too. It's not the first.
It's
Ain't gonna be the
whatever.
last. Uh,
Sucks to suck.
yeah. I don't know. I give me the Texans though. Then we move into Sunday slate here. First game is Cowboys Falcons.
Mm. Cowboys Falcons. Cowboys look so bad,
Mm-hmm.
even against like just such a low end 49ers team missing so many people.
Yeah,
Give me the at Atlanta. Give me the Falcons.
I
I
agree
think. Yeah,
100%.
Kirk is a dog. Had another dog game against the Buccaneers. Four
Kirk in an
touchdowns.
interview, the like GM or the coach, I don't remember for the Falcons, but he was like, "Yeah, Kirk's looking like Patrick Mahomes right now." And then Kirk responds and he goes, "I don't think so," or something like that. He's like, "No, I don't think I'm Patrick Mahomes." Um, but no, Kirk is playing out of his mind. Kyle Pitts is looking like the Kyle Pitts prospect we saw out of Florida. He is
Yeah.
finally the 1 year I watch. For those that don't know, I've drafted Kyle Pitts every single year in fantasy football except for this year, and he's turning it around this year.
It was
So
tight end day. He had no other choice, bro.
that's true. That's true.
Every every tight
No,
end went off.
he's been
No,
consistent now. Like the last like 3 weeks, 3 4 weeks, he's been good.
that's true. I
He's
just
been
want to say every tight end went off today. You know how
yeah.
much a bet for a Laporta anytime touchdown and a Brock Wright anytime touchdown like paid out? I saw this one guy put it on. It was like $10 for like 15K. It was something
No,
crazy.
that wasn't the whole bet. I saw that post as well.
Oh, was it?
No, he had like it was a 5 leg parlay for anytime scores for it was all Lions and they
Yeah.
all hit and he got like 8 grand or something like that. It was
Yeah, it was
great.
some. I saw one. It was like a crazy. It was like a 12 leg parlay with all tight ends. $10. He won 138,000. It was ridiculous. Tight
Man,
ends day.
oh man, I'm retiring at that point now. I was just playing.
Tight ends,
But
bro. Tight ends day. Who knew? I feel like they were kind of not force feeding them, but something within the air. Like all these tight ends are actually
Listen,
going like
feed the big man,
insane.
make him happy, okay? We've
I
had it
know,
down here for tight ends, in my opinion. It's
I
looked
know.
slow to this
A
point.
good tight end can significantly
It
improve
can.
your
It can make
offense.
or break the year, and I think George Kittle is the
Significantly.
definition of a good tight end right now. He's been dominating in a, not a bright spot of offense for the 49ers this year, but
Hmm.
he's still been looking good.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Moving on, the Ravens just actually acquired a new wide receiver,
Deontay
dirt
Johnson.
cheap.
I'm just like, why are these teams giving away these pretty decent players to these like super teams
So I
for
knew
nothing?
Deontay was a problem. I've been hearing reports that he's been having like actual issues there. Which
And
I get
Carolina,
when you're a good player stuck in a bad team, you just got to make the best of the situation, right? But
yeah,
I heard it was like terrible, so they just wanted to get rid of him. But this trade does not benefit them in any way.
I don't know.
They gave up a stud wide receiver who's could be a wide receiver one here in Baltimore, and a sixth round pick for a fifth. Like that doesn't.
Caleb was 6'2".
Yeah, they gave up a sixth as well.
Wow. Yeah.
That's insane.
Carolina's gonna be really bad for some years to come.
Yeah. But
Some
with that being
years,
said,
but
the Ravens do play at home against the Broncos this week.
and they bounce back against from the Browns. So let me take Ravens.
I agree. Listen, I Broncos defense is good, not that good. It's hard. It really is. The Ravens
It
have looked
really is.
amazing this year. Um, we keep talking about that, but Lamar's my MVP front runner right now. Shout out to Stephen A. He said Jared Goff should be in that conversation too. Made me all
He is
happy.
not
I
coming.
saw
He's
that on
number two.
it.
Two guys at two opposite ends of the spectrum. Lamar and Jared Goff are the 1 and 2 for the MVP race.
I love it. I do. Next we got Dolphins Bills.
Bills, even though two is back, they couldn't even beat the Cardinals at home. Bills are on a roll right now.
I'm
Bills
a
are on a
match.
terror
I
right
know.
now. And I love seeing Keon Coleman little broed someone with a one-handed catch. Oh no, he little broed it was Woolen. Yeah,
Yeah,
Tariq
Tariq Woolen
Woolen, one-handed catch in the back of the end zone. Had literally tapped him on the head after.
makes me
Just like
happy. Not to mention at
it's a
the end of the game, he jersey
chrome
swapped
man.
with Kenneth Walker.
K9, yeah. They were on the
Little
same
former
team.
Spartan meetup. They
Yeah,
did play
they were,
together.
believe it or not, they were on the same team, which is on 2021 Michigan State. So
Yep. So it was always
that
nice to
love
see.
to see it. Love to see
Um,
it.
I agree though. The Dolphins are not looking even with Tua back. Tua didn't have the best game. His
He
first game.
learned how to slide though.
Hey,
We're getting
improvement, I
somewhere.
guess, right? But no, the Bills are just too hot. I really thought we thought the Bills were going to be like terrible this year. I remember us talking about
Yeah,
this
and we didn't
on
have
our like
terrible.
preseason discussion.
We need to never make
Um,
preseason like picks or thoughts ever again. Just
no, I mean for the most part, we're not terrible,
we
but like
literally, yeah, that's
we're not
true.
good. We're probably right around 500 with our preseason picks right now. We'll see.
Yeah,
But no, I'm also going to take the Bills there. They've just been hot, and I think they stay hot. So
100%.
yeah. Next is Saints at Panthers. This is going to be a terrible game to watch if you like football.
Saints.
Saints.
I'm never picking the Panthers.
I
I'm never.
agree. You can't. You really can't. What like they have maybe one bright spot on that team right now, and that's about it. So it's just
If that.
following that we got Raiders Bengals. I think we're probably going to pick the same one here as
I
well.
agree with you. Bengals bounce back against a
Yep.
pretty crazy game against the Eagles. Right now the Eagles are looking like the biggest threat to the Lions in the NFC.
It's
We'll see
crazy.
how
They're
the
turning
how the
around a
season
little bit.
progresses. Yeah, we'll see how the season progresses. But Saquon looks really good in that team right now.
100%.
Really good.
Um, Next we got I also picked the Bengals in case that wasn't clear. But no, next we got Chargers at Browns. You gotta play, you gotta
Jameis
do
had a
more than just
great.
play for the name on the back of your jersey. You gotta play for the name on the side of your helmet.
I love Jameis Winston. He's a true, just a player's quarterback.
He
The
is.
team, the locker room seems to love him too. I think he just not had luck, but I just don't think the Browns can replicate what they do. I hope they do. I don't think they replicate what they did against the Ravens again. So I'll take the
100%.
Chargers in this head-to-head matchup. But I do like Jameis, and he's already outdone Deshaun Watson
Yeah.
this year. Just want to put that out there. Cleveland,
I'm
it's an
going to
organization. $250 million. Jameis
just
hadn't started. Jameis hasn't started since 2022, and he's already thrown in a game more passing yards than your $250 million player who likes massages.
yeah. Hey, I am going to pick the Browns here
Uh,
because I love Jameis Winston. I do. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks right now in the league. How can you hate him? He's giving
yeah.
off the same energy that Jamal Williams gave off for that Lions team a few years back. And it is truly great. When you have think guys like that on your team, it's easy to win a game, let alone two. Let's not dismiss their defense either. Their defense is still pretty good there in Cleveland. A lot of bright spots, but um, offensively it'll be a little struggle. I think Nick Chubb's back though. I think he could have a really good game. Um,
Oh yeah.
I know they're easing him into it, but I still think he could have a good game here. So I'm gonna take the Browns.
Mhm. Awesome.
Yeah,
We have a divisional matchup in your NFC East gauntlet with the Commanders and the Giants. Who do you have, Zebo?
it's not even gonna be close. I'm going Commanders. As
Yeah,
long as
I
Daniel Jones is the quarterback of the Giants, it ain't going nowhere.
when I saw that
There was a
play where they
play.
split.
He had three open receivers. It was like fourth down or third down or something. They need a first. There were like four open receivers, and he was sacked. There wasn't even a defender in the picture I saw. There was not a defender near him.
You saw the play when he threw the ball to Malik
Yes.
Neighbors and with the three linemen out there
Hmm.
lining up in trips. That was genius.
What?
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
What
Who
is
would have
that?
known the ball's going to
Oh my God.
just a Dable special.
No, it's not
Dable
his fault.
special.
It's not his fault. That play call was bad, but listen, you can only do so much when your quarterback has like a dime for a brain.
That's true.
Like,
I agree. He blows.
man, it's rough for him. Uh, yeah.
This next game is awful, Zach.
This might I we have two contenders for the worst game of the week. Saints, Panthers, Patriots, Titans.
Uh,
Whoa. I'm just gonna be straight out. I keep saying I'm not picking the Titans anymore, so I'm not gonna pick the Titans. I'm gonna rock with the Patriots here.
Me too.
Um,
And there's no rhyme or reason. I just saw how special teams beat. By the way, the special teams of Detroit had more yards than the Cowboys and a couple other teams did offensive yards this week. I just want to put that out there. But yeah, the Titans. I can't trust a team who I understand it's the Lions. I understand it's my team, but they just got that was really bad. That was really really bad. So give me the Patriots as well. At least they won a game last week.
yeah.
Titans are still I think 1-6 now. So
They're just terrible, man. Blow the whole team up. Um, yeah. Next we got Bears at Cardinals. What you thinking? You think the Bears bounce back a
be a pretty
little?
good game. Oh. Cardinals won. They both won big away games this week. Cardinals at Miami, Bears. Oh, I'm sorry, they didn't win. But Cardinals at
Funny.
Miami, they had a close game. Should have won. I'll
Just
say
rubbing
that.
salt in the wound.
They should have won. I want to say Bears, but I think I'm gonna go Cardinals now.
I was gonna pick the Cardinals as well, but just for some diversity here, I'll pick the Bears. I want to make it very clear. I think the Cardinals are going to win this game, though. I do. But the Bears have looked okay.
Yeah,
Um, we keep saying this every week. Caleb's looking like that guy they wanted. I'm waiting for Keenan Allen to step up a little bit here.
he's
I've
had
not
like
heard
one
too
good
much
week.
from him,
Yeah,
but
he's had like one good week.
I'll pick the Bears. You picking the Cardinals? I like it.
That's cool. The Jags in Philly going against the Eagles. I don't like the Jaguars. Eagles been on a tear. Give me the Eagles.
Wow, that wasn't. I felt your energy. That was.
This is some of
Um,
these games this week. It's just like,
I agree. It's kind of like we have these weeks where there's like the obvious picks, we really do. Give me the Eagles as well, with that being said. However, for
I
this
want you
game,
to pick. I want you to pick first for this game.
Lions play in Green Bay. Man, we never win both these games. I want to make that very clear. However, I think we're going to set the tone. I think we're gonna come out looking great because at the end of the day, I think the Packers are the worst in the NFC right now or NFC North. Um,
Really?
who's worse than them?
They're worse than the Bears?
Yeah, the Bears have so many bright spots. The Packers, it's just three guys, three friends. You got
I
Jamie Lee,
mean,
receiver. You got Josh Jacobs, and then Jordan Love sometimes.
you have like the leading interceptions leader on the defensive end too.
I don't care about Xavier McKinney. I don't
You
care
used to.
about him. I
You
used to.
used
I
to.
was upset when he left. But with that note, I'm taking the Lions.
The Lions and the Packers. Lions are coming in to Green Bay. I told myself kind of after was it I think last week after we beat the Vikings that the NFC North we're the best division in football in my
It
opinion.
is. I
Each
agree.
team over 500. I still think that's the case. I don't think that any team is going to outright win against like I think they'll all split. I'm
Really?
gonna be completely. I think every team in NFC North is gonna we're gonna all split. Zach, you know my history. First of all, you know history. Let me say this. Jared Goff, all right,
Are
the
you
GOAT.
busting out the indoor-outdoor stadium stat?
He does significantly worse
Ooh,
in outdoor stadiums than he does.
yeah.
Significantly worse in
All
outdoor
right.
stadiums than he does indoor. Don't get me wrong, he still is the NFL quarterback. He has no problems playing outdoors. But from last season, the stats outdoor, indoor were awful. Were awful. This year, we were blessed with only three outdoor games, one in Santa Clara against the 49ers, which is basically like an indoor game.
Yeah.
Um, but this will be the first outdoor game, believe it or not, the Lions play all year. The first outdoor game.
Which is a
This is
little
week
crazy.
8, by the way. Week 8, first outdoor game we play all year. Um, and you know my history with reverse
It's week
psychology,
week
Zach.
9, by the way. But yeah,
It is week 9. You're right. You know my history with reverse psychology, Zach.
I
You
do.
do know my
I am
history.
familiar.
It's you're familiar with my game, and it's been somewhat successful this year. I was going to easily, it would have pained me to do so. I
Yeah.
was going to pick the Packers to win. Like I said, I don't think any team in the NFC North is going to outright beat any other team. I think we're all going to split against each other. And that's fine. I'm cool with that. But then I got the news that Jordan Love is going to be hurt. He's I'm not going to say hurt for the game, but he did have a fairly significant groin injury this past weekend against the Jaguars, who, by the way, they only beat in a last second field goal, which had me thinking too.
We're not the Jaguars.
We're not the Jaguars.
And
We don't have
but I do
Jameson
want to point out
Williams.
how when Malik Willis starts a game for the Packers at quarterback, they are still undefeated.
That's a fair statement. We don't have we don't. Oh wow, they're in the practice schedule yet. Okay. I was trying to see the practice schedule for the Packers or the injury report for practice, but they haven't posted yet. We don't have JMO. I don't think we need him. Obviously, it helps though. And I don't think you're ever gonna have the game that we did this past weekend,
That
ever.
was insane.
That was insane. I'm I'm gonna go. I am going to go. If it worked once, it works again, guys. I'm sorry. It's reverse psychology. It's reverse psychology. I love my Lions. I'm rooting for them thick and through. They're gonna win this game. That's why I'm gonna pick the Packers because it's reverse psychology. We're gonna split,
You know
and
what?
I'll be damned. I'll be damned if we lose at home to the Packers for in Green Bay. And so, like I said, because I think we're
Yep.
gonna split every single game, I have the Packers winning this game. But like I said, I think the Lions can easily, but I think we can win this game. But give me,
I
I'll
don't
take
know.
the Packers.
I think the Lions are going in, even though it's an outdoor stadium. I think Jared Goff's gonna play great. But yeah, moving on. Last little three stretch here. We got Rams at Seahawks.
The
This should be a pretty good
Rams,
game, I think.
yeah, the
Rams have been playing
Rams,
good. Cooper Cup's
Rams are playing
back.
really good. Puka is back. Cooper Cup
Puka.
is back as well.
Yep.
Seahawks been playing like dog water lately. I'm not gonna lie, the
Yeah.
Lions, I wouldn't say broke them, but they haven't been the same since they played
Oh,
us. Give me the Rams, bro. I trust Stafford. I trust.
I like your pick. I do. But I'm gonna take the Seahawks.
Really,
I
really,
think,
really, really.
listen, the Rams are a great football team. They really are, and they're back at essentially full strength now. But I think the Seahawks have more talent, right? And obviously, at the end of the day, it doesn't come down to talent. Because if you're looking at it, the way I'm looking at it is the Seahawks have overall talent, right? Not as many superstars, because the Rams definitely have that
Yeah.
on offense. I'm referring to at least, but the Seahawks have a good defense. They do have Tariq, even though he got mossed, and they got a couple other guys. I'm blanking on one of the that one guy's name. Oh, Witherspoon.
Witherspoon.
Yep, you knew exactly where I was going. Illinois. Um,
Spoon.
but I think they have a great defense, and I think it's gonna. I think they're gonna have a good weekend here. So I'm gonna take the Seahawks. And I think what one of the best Sunday night football games ever. No. But before we talk about the Colts Vikings, I want to mention just for the Colts, Anthony Richardson was benched today.
Rightfully so,
Yep. He is
in
not
my
playing very
opinion.
well.
And just take yourself out of the game because you're tired, bro. Are you serious?
That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. You don't go like this unless you're hurt
He's
and
tired.
physically unable to play. And even then you don't do that. Like it's unheard. Like you've seen guys that like have dislocated fingers stay in the game. That is crazy to me.
That's just weak.
I lose respect truly for that.
Yeah.
That is
And
annoying.
honestly, every time Flacco has been the starter this year, the Colts have actually done really good.
I
In
agree.
Flacco, I, I trust over AR. I don't trust him against the Vikings because I don't trust their defense. I want to go Vikings, but the Colts have made the right move by benching AR, in my
Agreed
opinion.
100%. I don't know what they're gonna do long term with him because I don't know that I would want that as a team to trade for even. But yeah, who knows? I'm gonna also pick the Vikings here. The Vikings still look good. Um, yeah. Last but definitely not least is our Monday night football game with the Buccaneers at Kansas City Chiefs.
Mhm. I can't go against Pat. I'm sorry. They find a way to win. It pains me to say it. They find a way to win every week. The Bucks, I think, have a really good chance to beat them, but they just keep on finding ways to win, and for that reason, it's just as simple as that. I can't. It's like some magic in the air. It's
Yeah,
like I don't know. It's like the line, like the Tigers finishing out the season 38-11. It's just they just find ways to win, and it's just so disturbing. But you gotta just yeah.
I unfortunately agree. I'm gonna pick the Chiefs as well. The NFL just wants them to win. We've seen that is their baby right now, essentially. I
Yeah,
think
it's
they get
just
away with some things most teams couldn't, but that's neither here nor there. We're not going to talk about that right now. But yeah,
take notes, Brad. Take notes, Brad Holmes, the best team in the league, trying to go for a three-peat in a Super Bowl. By the way, just signed an edge rusher, so I'll be quiet. And I tell you what, if we lose to the Packers this week, I think we sign someone the next day, Monday.
yeah.
So
Well, we're gonna have to do it Monday or Tuesday by 5. So or
you're
for
right. So
um, but yeah. So I'm moving
that
along. We got
concludes your picks.
our last
Concludes the
little
picks.
segment here. Start bench cut. I know you guys like them. We'll make sure we post them on social media for you guys as well. Um, let us know what you think. Obviously, we like to hear your guys' takes as well. Um, but this week we got for the quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence, Jaden Daniels, and Jalen Hurts.
I'm benching or cutting Trevor Lawrence. I'll say that right now.
Okay.
Uh Jaden Daniels has been playing. Okay, this is this year, right?
This year
Correct.
alone, yeah.
Oh, okay. If it's going off this year, gotta go starting Jaden Daniels, man.
Okay.
He's just been playing like a baller, and it's just ridiculous. As a rookie, you're playing like this. That's just kind of crazy. I gotta go Jaden Daniels, and
Yeah,
then
no,
I'll bench Hurts. But
I
yeah, this year, yeah,
I agree. I
it's
actually
you
had
can't
the
deny
same.
it.
I had the same thing. Jaden Daniels was looking really good. He's
Mhm.
honestly my rookie of the year front runner right now for offense. We don't talk about rookie of the year too much here, but um, he's definitely my front runner. It's a quarterback award. I
100%.
want to make that very well known. It is a quarterback favorite award. However, I'm still starting Jaden McDaniels here. I'm also going to bench Jalen Hurts because Trevor Lawrence is just not
He's
like
just so
that
bad.
right now. He's not been bad statistically.
Yeah,
I
just
think
right
Jalen
now.
Hurts is a little bit better.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me ask you, wide receiver star bench cut.
do it.
Jaden Reed, who's ex Spartan, Nico Collins, the ex Wolverine, and Malik Neighbors, the ex Tiger.
So we're gonna for this one assume everybody's healthy, right?
Yeah.
So I think
Based
I'm
off
gonna,
this year. This
yeah,
year. This
this year
year.
only. I'm gonna start Nico.
Yeah, I agree.
He's
He's a
played
dog.
really well.
He's a dog.
He is. Um, I think I think I have to bench Malik Neighbors here.
Really?
I hate that I'm gonna say I'm cutting Jaden Reed because I love me some Jaden Reed, but Malik Neighbors has been playing really well. I mean, he's truly the wide receiver one there in a Giants team that has no choices. So, um, yeah, and I don't know how that lines up statistically, but uh, yeah, I'm gonna unfortunately cut Jaden Reed.
I'm gonna again start Nico Collins with you on that. I am going to actually bench Jaden Reed because I think Jaden Reed overall has done more. He's more versatile with the Packers offense. I've seen him score receiving touchdowns. I've seen him score end around touchdowns on the ground, running touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. And he's just for his size and everything, he's just showed up in big moments and has improved the Packers offense. So I'm gonna go Jaden Reed, honestly. If you look at it, Jaden Reed, comparing at least their receiving stats, I do understand Malik. He missed 1 week or two for the concussion.
It was two.
Okay, so I guess this
He went to the
doesn't do
Travis
too much, but
Scott concert in between.
yeah, you're right. Neighbors 46 receptions, Jaden Reed 31. Neighbors 498 yards receiving, Reed 507. They both have 3 touchdowns. But like I said,
Without two
if I
games
if I'm
though.
looking, true, I agree. But looking, I can't find his rushing stats, but here it is. He is he's rushed, bro. He is rushed. He's been a force in the end arounds and jet sweeps for the Packers this year. He has a touchdown on the ground, 11 carries, 110 yards, 10 yards every time he gets the ball and he's running it. So I just think it's a little more versatile than Malik Neighbors. You can
I
put him.
agree. I agree.
So
But
that's why I'm gonna say Jaden Reed to bench and then cut
in
Malik
terms
Neighbors.
of the future though,
Yeah,
no. I'm gonna redo the whole thing. In terms of the future, who is the best outlook? I think I'm cutting Nico Collins.
Bumbleclap. You're cutting Nico.
In terms of the future, and yes,
How old is Nico? How old is Nico?
bro, he's only like a third or fourth year, but I don't care. I think I think Jaden
Oh,
Reed
he's been in a
has more potential, and I think Malik Neighbors has more potential than Nico Collins does.
he's 25.
He's young, yeah. I don't care. I'm
He
still
is
cutting him.
he really?
I think the ceiling is a lot higher from both Malik and Jaden because they're true wide receiver ones in a wide receiver one scheme.
What? I'm just letting you know, Jaden Reed is 1 year younger than Nico Collins. Um,
Don't matter.
just put out there. No, you're completely
Don't
wrong. Sorry.
matter.
Nico Collins is like before he got hurt, he was like a top three wide receiver. He's physical, he's fast, he has great hands. he has really put the Texans not on his back, but he's been holding up the receiving core this year. Even with Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs, he is still
Yep,
outperforming most of these receivers in the league. I'm gonna put my trust in Nico Collins. If so,
that's fair.
you're telling me a young team. Okay, say you're the Panthers. Say you're the Carolina Panthers. You have the option to get Nico Collins or Jaden Reed on your team after trading Deontay. You're picking Nico. You're picking
It
Jaden
depends
Reed.
what you're giving up at the end of the day, because right now the value for Nico is a lot higher than it is for Jaden.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder why. Because he's a better
It's because
player
right now in the moment, you don't trade for the future, right? You trade for the player you want right now.
right now in the moment. And even last year, Nico was a better player than Jaden Reed. I'm sorry, Zach.
I think because Jaden Reed didn't show up until halfway through the season because of they weren't sure who they were throwing the ball to. Christian Watson was supposed to be wide receiver one of that team, if you remember.
Yeah, you're right.
So, but yeah, I don't know. That is all we have for you guys on this episode, though. Got a little uh action there at the end. But another great
Oh,
episode.
so
Rounding
disappointed in
out.
Zach. Jaden Reed over Nico Collins. So I love you, Jaden Reed, but Nico, Nico's a dog. Nico's a freaking like funny.
But yeah, so I got nothing else. You got anything else for him?
If you had Nico Collins on your team and someone wanted to trade you Jaden Reed straight up, would you do it?
I'm not talking about straight up. I'm just saying.
Would you do it?
In terms of the future, I'm taking Jaden Reed. I think he has a higher ceiling.
Zach, what future? They're only 1 year apart.
I'm
They're only
talking
1 year.
about like, huh?
They're only 1 year apart, bro.
I don't care.
In
I
age
think Jaden's gonna make a bigger jump.
than Nico.
Yeah, Nika's already made. That's the biggest jump.
Okay, and he made the jump and he's still riding the top.
Oh, and
That's
then
the
it's going
thing.
right back down. He's not gonna be the same guy after this injury. I don't even know what he's
It's like
hurt.
it's a hamstring, bro. It's not like he dislocated his freaking foot or
No,
ankle.
I'm just playing. He'll be back because of Stefan out for the year.
Yeah, he'll be back against the
He'll put up some
Lions.
nice
So
numbers. Yeah, works out against the Lions. But
yeah.
so that's everything we got for you guys. We appreciate you watching. If you've made it this
Thank you,
far,
everyone. Love the support.
yep, and we'll talk to you guys next episode.
See ya.